walk away for 10 minutes and Gearbox breaks the game. And then they patched it real quick, apparently. I was gonna talk about Hopeful Games selling to Gearbox, who got sold to Take-Two, the people that caused the Kerbal Space Massacre. Billions of Kerbals lost their lives that day. You know, business investors, you know, all that fucking nonsense that drives everything. The short story is it wasn't fucking done. Easily replicatable bugs with basic errors like FPS being tied to all sorts of game logic, which is a beginner dev problem. Tying things to FPS is an easy way to measure time. There's no way the team wanted to launch the game the way it is. That sounds like a placeholder thing going on. I'm sure it was embarrassing too, especially with Risk of Rain 2 hitting its all-time peak at this new DLC's launch. Sloppy, unfinished code just hanging and swanging for everybody to see. Launching early was likely a decision that came from up high businessmen that only think in money, inputs, products, and quarterly profits, not art projects, which is what games essentially are. Regardless, less than a week after launch, all that shit is fixed, and I'll be honest, I still had a good time with the bugs, so now that they're gone, I'm gonna geek out about the game.
Oh, this is one of the bugs they were talking about.
Unplayable. I love bugs.
I love bugs. Does Huntress still have a juicy booty?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
They didn't get rid of that.
I like that.
Me too.
The Seeker has better survivability than bare fucking grills with a full bladder. Through the power of an unburdened karmic debt, Seeker just doesn't die, but people around her can, at which point you can impress the higher power by hitting the crisscross applesauce to revive your gay little friends. Reversing the cycle of death and rebirth. Seeker play is incredibly safe and defensive, lots of healing, a decent amount of damage, and a joy to have on a team. And if you ever have the option between items, you don't need to prioritize healing because the base healing is already dramatic.
Oh shit. Oh, I did it. I hit it. Wait, I can revive you, can
I? You gotta get 7.
How many do I have?
You have 1. Yeah, you can do it on the 7th one.
You need 600 to pass.
And what did I get?
And what do I need to pass? He was so cheesed.
You also got the false sun. He stinks like he fucking sucks, except for his laser beam that melts you instantly in the actual boss fight. And that's reflected as best you can hope for in a playable survivor, but this thing hits 1 billion times per second and melts everything, especially with on-hit items. Too bad his other moves are just so lame. I mean, I've seen people enjoy it. I do not. His warp is fine. He's got like a slam. I just hate his primary. I think it's just his primary that pisses me the fuck off. It's got no sauce, dude. Oh yeah, also his mouse too. Hate it. Finally, Chef. My name is Chef. I couldn't care less about whether or not this is the objective best character to play. It is my favorite because, first of all, the hat, the stash, the rolling pin. Chef can be chefing by cooking enemies to death, at which point he spawns food to heal a considerable amount, literally serving up Lemurian meat skewers for your crew. This is balanced out by him having caca regen, but just don't get hit, forehead. I'm a big glazer. I love glazing. I'm always saying this, so I really like this ability that lets him glaze enemies. That and burn are really fun. The knife is okay. It definitely worked way better as a side scroller, but rolling just feels so goddamn good. I'd be getting ruby crystals just to feel the crunch. I'm spending an extra long time on Chef because he is my special whittle guy. Chef lost the election to Railgunner in Seekers of the Void, probably for saying some very strange things in that debate, but now my baby boy is back. For real though, I love him for the style and the feeling of playing him. The animations and sound design is phenomenal. The flailing of the arms when you fucking do shit, it's awesome. He also stick to item on his rolling pin. Look at it, wee. Also, listen to this sound effect. Oh, that's fucking awesome. He is my sunshine.
Crit goggles.
Oh yeah, so that's one of the new DLC items, and it really sucks. The crit goggles. Yeah.
Yeah, bad.
You don't want to pick that up.
Yeah, no, it's actually like a run ruiner.
There's no synergy.
It actually makes the game easier, which makes it bad, so.
Yeah, I never picked those up.
There are 18 new items, and I'm not going to detail all of them. I wrote a version of the script with it, and it was like 20 minutes longer. We are skimming today, my friend. We got a few decent additions, a lot of garbage fit to scrap, and 2 items are game-changing. Sales Star. Gain an extra item on the first chest open per stage. Getting more stars give you a 5% chance for even more items. This little balloon guy is functionally, instantly one of, if not the greatest green item. Just one of these can give you tons of extra items, and if you stack it, you can potentially net multiple reds from one chest. It's an awesome item. The new greatest item in Risk of Rain 2, not an exaggeration, is Sonorous Whispers. When a large monster is killed, it will always drop an item. All elites have a 5% chance of dropping an item, plus 5% per stack. With the amount of elites and boss enemies you fight on a loop, this item is guaranteed win if you manage to survive. Even if you don't loop and get this pretty early, you can meet several boss monsters on your way to Mithrix. Getting more items is always broken, so this is incredible. The items I thought were decent additions but not as broken: Runic Lens, a pretty strong on-hit effect; Growth Nectar, bonus stats, boring but whatever; Electric Boomerang, a less good on-hit than Runic Lens, but hey, it's an on-hit; Chance Doll, I don't know if anybody's gonna get that reference, increases the rarity of Chance Shrine items. Getting more reds is good, so, you know, I don't gotta explain shit. Chronic Expansion gives you more damage the longer you stay in fights with lots of enemies, so hey, would rather get something else, but I'm not crying when I get one of these. Finally, the Seed of Life revives the user upon death, or allies when activated consume on use. Incredible item if you're showing around newer players, or if you're not running Monsoon every time. The rest of the new additions are far too situational or outright terrible. Knockback Fin is fucking worthless. Bad items serve a purpose though. You can hold onto them and turn them to scrap, which is, you know, if I'm being honest, is kind of lame. This may be a bit unfair, but I'd like to compare. Seekers of the Void added 40 new items, including Void items. Nearly all of them are brilliant and strong ones that I love to pick up for every run. Even the situational ones have their own uses and work great in certain scenarios. I didn't really appreciate it when it came out, but Seekers of the Void really strengthened the core of Risk of Rain, making fun and wacky items you can infinitely stack. Most of these new ones are just poorly thought out and are just plain boring. I would love it if they changed most of these to have some interesting effects or modify them to be a bit more useful. I have a list of changes I would make, even though nobody asked. Make Antler Shield have a chance to reflect damage proportional to the enemy or player level. As it is now, it's fucking useless. Enemies deal way less damage than the player. However, they have way more health. I just don't know what to do with Knockback Fin without making it a better version of the stun grenade. I don't know, I just go back to the drawing board with this one. As it is now, it's kind of useless because the most dangerous things just shoot you. I would drastically boost the damage on Luminous Shot to make it even a fraction as good as Renauld or Kajaro's band. It's just kind of a not as good of a green. Remove the cap on the amount of enemies Noxious Thorn can affect. Make it more like Razor Wire. Finally, just turn War Bonds into a green item. I am pissed when I get that item, it fucking sucks. And money compiling red items do not sound like a good item in the first place. It can't be saved, dude, make it green. The few I didn't mention yet, I think are fine. More situational, but I think it's good for the game to have.
Watch me hit the, where am I?
But yeah, it's Texas Instruments, so on the conveyor belt.
Holy shit.
The jazz.
I did not expect no jazz in my experimental rock soundtrack.
God damn, he hit him with the... I'm gonna start scatting here soon.
Oh, fucking... Chris's music is like a part of this fucking... the identity of Risk of Rain. If he's not a part of it, I'm gonna mail a bomb.
To whom?
To someone.
Gearbox.
Until they get the message.
The Shattered and Disturbed abodes are kind of basic. It's more ruins. It doesn't have much to distinguish itself visually aside from the one crater in the center. I'm glad it's pretty open and small though, being a first stage and all. The new second stage is the Reformed Altar. It's more ruins, but this one's in a cave. Ooh. There's also this big ass statue and altar in there. I don't know, it feels like a really important place, like people lived and worshipped here. It makes it feel really grand, like we're discovering something here. New third stage, Treeborn Colony and the Golden Dieback, which are the same thing at different times of day. I gotta tell you, I fucking love this. This is like, it's like islands of tree houses, and I don't know, it just seems really fun to live here. Also, because of how high up it is, it seems kind of perilous, more dangerous than some of the other ones. I really fucking love it, and the evening variant is beautiful.
Whoa!
Yeah, this stage is sick.
This is so... holy shit! Did
Well,
Gearbox
there's
make this
birds.
one, or was Hopu still on this one?
I think this is all Gearbox.
Really? This is good.
New fourth stage, Prime Meridian, the new boss stage. It is Pretty sick. A fractured walkway plagued with lightning as you make it to the top of the structure. A giant statue of Providence sits in the distance as if watching the duel between the survivors and the false sun. If you played the first one, or just played Returns like I did, this is, like, it's a fucking awesome callback. I'm gonna save the fight for later, but the stage itself, fucking sick. It gives a finality to the confrontation if you choose to pursue it, and the lightning everywhere is like Naruto versus Sasuke. It's just incredible. The choice to have this stage, therefore this fight on stage 3, really seems strange at first until you realize it's a trade-off. Taking on a pretty tough boss in exchange for a few items that don't add to the timer in the top right, it can power you up and prepare you for Mithrix or just crush your run then and there. I think it really adds something and was a great choice to make it optional. Finally, Hellmint Hatchery. This stage is awesome. I'm not a fan of the whole lava castle look in games, but this is so interestingly designed that I don't really care. Plus, we never had something like this in Risk of Rain 2. This stage has like 4 levels to it, and when this stage was revealed by Gearbox, I thought it was going to be frog shit to traverse, because it was like really big and you could go in the buildings. I envisioned myself getting blown to smithereens by malachite inside the buildings, but no, they're pretty open. The verticality is super fun to travel around too. Way less of a pain than I thought. There's also the detail of the giant magma worm snaking its way through the whole place, which might be Providence's breed of worm. It's so cool. I know the dev team said they wanted to explore the idea of single enemies whenever they construct stages, and I think that's brilliant. There's also a couple of secrets that teleport away up high in the little office overlooking the whole place. All of these added stages, I think they're hits, except maybe the first one. Finally, I want to talk about the new mechanics added to runs, which can drastically alter your runs should you choose to interact with them. The Shaping Shrine and the Halcyon Shrines.
The Shrine of Shaping? It takes 30 soul. I got enough soul, right? What does this mean? I'm gonna do it.
Oh, it does it for everybody.
Oh, fuck. You're welcome, guys.
Shaping Shrines take 30% of your health in exchange for providing every player an extra life, and it's not a bad option for multiplayer. There's a lot of ways to revive teammates, but none of them feel broken. All of them feel like you're giving up something valuable in exchange for holding on to it. The Seed of Life takes an equipment slot that you can use for something way better. The Shrines take your valuable health. Even Seeker is forced to have a kind of niche special ability instead of something way more useful like other survivors. Revives were never broken from the beginning because if you didn't have enough good items to fend off death the first time, then a second try likely isn't going to help you. It basically blocks one huge human error, which you'll need to do less and less as you get better. Definitely a beginner type of item. About the Halcyon Shrine, it takes gold in order to charge, and when it does, you have to fight a Halcyonite to spawn 3 items. I don't gotta say it, this is fucking awesome, and it gives you the option to pursue the False Sun to fight 2 stages from that point. It adds some great variety to runs. New enemies are pretty cool, not much to say. Worms, Child from Risk of Rain 1, and the Halcyonites, who are possibly the toughest mob you can see early on. Nothing revolutionary. The new enemy types included in the DLC are the Gilded and Twisted. Twisted is a death sentence for melee characters. I don't know what to say, gotta stay away and shoot. They deal damage based on damage dealt in their bubble. Gilded enemies sap your gold when you hit them while they have a shield, and they're pretty tanky when they do have it. I'm glad for some new variety, but they're pretty tough to play around. Noticeably tougher than other elites. I'd say that only the Void corrupted enemies are any tougher.
This motherfucker is about to die to death. Drizzle stage 30. He's living longer than I was expecting him to.
I've been bringing up the boss over and over, the False Sun. I gotta be honest, I got mixed feelings. I think it's a pretty cool boss fight, which deservedly is pretty tough since it'll power you up before the fight with Mithrix, but there are moments just out of your control. He's got some pretty standard boss moves with a big fuck-off laser that can evaporate you in a second from full health. His final phase has him silence your abilities until you activate a pillar. It's kind of bullshit, but I think that's the point. I don't think you should be able to beat False Sun every run. He gives you great rewards. It should be a risk that you take when you're certain that you have the items and mobility to deal with the annoying parts of the fight. Maybe making the boss that bullshit wasn't the vision, but I could totally rationalize it as being so. I don't think he's as big of a problem as people are saying though. Maybe turn down the laser just a smidgen though. God damn, that shit hurty.
Finally some new skins too, I've been waiting. I think most of them are great. Knowing Gearbox, we're probably gonna get 99-cent skin DLC packs, which is whatever. You just mod them in yourself. Special shout out to Bandit skin. Looks even more sci-fi than he was already. Like a space merc. Huntress is an elf. It's literally like a space elf. Kinda neat. Multis is fucking boring though. I felt like you could have done so much. Maybe I'm wrong, but from the naked eye, they just painted him. Oh yeah, Rex's is awesome. Rex's makes me actually want to play him. Hackert's got a lizard head too, it's awesome. Do Seekers of the Storm deserve the mixed reviews that it got on Steam? I really don't think so. New characters, some are obviously better than others, but hey, that was the case all along. Nothing has to be perfectly balanced. Items, mixed bag, I get it. That's where I can definitely see somebody getting frustrated. But as somebody who doesn't have 10,000 hours in the game, I'm really appreciating everything in the game. I really needed something to shake it up. I was getting bored of Risk of Rain 2, and now I'm not. Now I actually want to go in and play a bunch of runs with all these different characters. I think the DLC deserves a mostly positive, not a mix, you know what I'm saying? There is some bad, I can acknowledge that, but I really think that it wasn't that bad. There's some shit to enjoy too. I really hope the new dev team on Risk of Rain 2 takes what they learned from this DLC to make better stuff in the future, because I really hope that this is not it. Some of the decisions for the DLC seemed a little poorly thought out, so I'm wondering if they can tighten that up in the future. Maybe even make changes before that happens. Alright, thank you for watching. So, I recorded the skins segment after most of the video, and also like a little part of the Seeker segment. I found out I'm probably the stupidest person alive. I needed to stand... I found out a way to make my microphone sound like 10 times better. I had it sideways because it was easier to reach myself that way, but I needed to stand it up straight instead. I'm a little fucking mad. I've done like 20 videos with this microphone. All right, I'll look forward to better microphone quality then. I'm gonna do some voice acting auditions. This is awesome. Any of the funny bits with my friends is from this video. It's on my secondary channel. It's like half an hour.
I need an ICB this instant.
I need an icy. Or icies aren't even that good, but when I was little,
No.
I always wanted a fucking icy every time.
It's cause the fucking dog on the thing.
Yes, it is
cool.
cause the dog on the thing.
I wanted to be like the dog on the thing.
I wanted to be a fucking dog surfing.
He was handing it to me like Joe Camel hands you a cigarette, dude. I wanted it.
Still making a Sekiro video. It's taking a long ass time because it's gonna be a super long ass video. I don't usually plug shit, but I think I'm gonna start doing that. Message me for commissions. I'll do profile pictures for 20 bucks, thumbnails for $30. That sounds fair, right? And ask me if you got anything else going on. If you're an indie dev with an indie game you want to market, let me know. I love doing that shit. All right, thanks for watching. I'm fuck with you.